Well, hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. Welcome to this edition of the Take Charge of Change podcast. In this edition of the podcast, we're going to continue with our theme around managing stress effectively, and we're going to talk about a very important intersection point in our lives that if we're not attentive to it, can really have adverse consequences, not just professionally, but personally. You'll enjoy this edition of the podcast. Okay, so we're going to continue with our theme of unpacking information from the Resilient Professional ebook. In a previous podcast, we talked about the impact of stress. We talked about the impact of this sort of technological revolution that's just creating an avalanche of information that we have to deal with on a regular basis. We're often not really aware of the level of stress that we're under, and so my encouragement to you, or my challenge to you in that previous podcast, was to be a little bit reflective and try to understand just how much stress you might potentially be under. We had an assessment tool with a number of questions with a numbering system to give you a stress score, and so the basic purpose of that was just really awareness creation. So today we're going to talk about a really important intersection point, and that's the intersection point between the capacity we have from an energy standpoint and the demands that are coming to us as we go through life. Again, we talk about our model around resiliency training and dealing with change. Change is a reality. And so we have the macro changes above us, whether they're societal changes, economic, political, technological, environmental. And then we have our own unique life changes we're going through, whether it's career changes, retirement, death of a spouse, separation, divorce, changing needs of parents, aging parents. And so all those intersection points are happening. And so what I'd like to take a look at right now is a chart that really kind of does a good job of explaining or summarizing these intersection points. So as you take a look at this chart, you can see along the bottom of the chart we've got an age continuum, and we've got age 30 as sort of a starting point. So the reason we do that is, on average, if you looked at energy capacity, which is the red line here, and capacity sort of peaks, and it's our energy, not just our physical energy, but our cognitive capacity, our ability to be engaged and really have a lot of grit and follow through and perseverance, that tends to hit its peak powers in our 30s and going on for a number of years past that point. But inevitably, you see the capacity we have to bring to any activity in life begins to diminish. Now, at the same time we see capacity changes, that's just a natural evolution in human life, we see our demands on our life beginning to increase. And that's a natural thing, whether it's starting a family, raising our kids, pursuing things professionally, moving up the ranks in terms of our career and opportunities. And at some point there's this intersection point where our capacity for energy is met with our demands, and at some point for many people that demand is exceeding energy capacity. That's the danger zone. This is an area that we really need to be, again, sensitive to. So we talked about this self-assessment and awareness around the current events around us in terms of the stress it might create. And again, stress to a large extent is our response to the situation, as our interpretation. One person could be in an event that's not stressful at all, the other person could be in the same set of circumstances and experience it as significant stress. Well, that can be influenced by this relationship, the demands on you, your capacity, the other factors that surround you in your life. So what I'd like you to give some thought to is, number one, where are you along this curve? And number two, what can you do to begin pushing out your capacity? And the reason why that's important is that a lot of professionals and people at the zenith of their peak productive powers get taken out of the game professionally because they hit this crossover point and then they get burned out, or they have health problems or other issues that really don't allow them to seize upon the years of experience and the capacity that they've built over the years. So to push this red line out, what can you do? And that's really about the cultivation of resilience, cognitive resilience, relational resilience, physical, energetic resilience. All the pieces need to be pulled together to push that line out so you can continue to be productive and have the capacity necessary to get the job done. Because it don't get easier. I mean, the challenges get more and more as we go on in life. So here's an action item, and it really is, how is your energy compared to 5 years ago? Reflect and then write. Okay, so again, another reflection exercise, and if you feel that your energy reserves have been declining, you'll benefit from the strategies outlined in this ebook and the blog posts that we're putting together. We'll provide you with specific ideas that can help you improve your energy capacity. Well, if you're looking at this video on YouTube, I'd encourage you to hit the link that will take you right back to the post itself. There'll be other helpful resources and links that you'll find useful. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the podcast. If you are a leader of an organization, you have people that you lead, and you're concerned about cultivating their professional and personal resilience, then reach out to us. We'd love to start a conversation about how we can craft programs to help boost your staff energy, to help them to have more capacity to deal with both the personal and the professional demands that are on them. So you take care, be resilient.